Hey guys, welcome to another Texas Bolt Action Battle Report. Got a very special battle for you today. I'm here with Oscar Barella and Mark Cole. Mark is going to be running his, what division is this based on, Mark? 44th German Reichsgrenadier division. And Oscar has brought his Free French division over here. We are somewhere in a small village in France. And I'm actually not going to be playing today. I'm just going to be filming. So this is going to be exciting for me to just observe. And hopefully I can have a little bit less strained battle report for you guys because I won't be in the thick of the action. So we're going to start with Mark's army. Mark, tell us what you got here today.
It is a largely regular force, but I have two squads of veteran troops.
Okay, that's going to be these two right here?
These two are veterans.
Okay.
Regular mortar team, regular medium machine gun team,
okay.
Two regular infantry squads,
okay.
A sniper team, there's my headquarter unit, Martyr 3, and a Oval Blitz truck.
Okay, awesome. And we're going to go over here. Oscar, what do you got? What are you rocking with?
So I got a little bit of mixture. Majority of it all is regulars, but starting on this end, I have an M3 white scout car regular with a 8-man late war Tirailleurs infantry squad. They all just rifles and rifles and a BAR.
Okay.
This is a M3 half-track regular with veteran 7-man Free French SAS, rocking with 2 Vickers Ks. I have my regular HQ first lieutenant with a toady, and then I've got a veteran priest or chaplain. Regular infantry squad, 8-man squad with BAR. Then I've got a 10-man regular infantry squad with a BAR and anti-tank grenades. And then over here, I've got the priest, the M7 regular priest. And then I'm rocking 3 of FFI French partisans. Paid for 2 of them, and in the rules in the Battle of the Bulge, if you got 2 or more of these squads, you get one for free. So the third one is free.
Okay, so the scenario we're playing today is key positions. Now Mark and Oscar have already rolled for sides at the table, and they've placed their positions. Mark placed one objective marker over here in the orchard, guarding the crossroads. He placed one in the ruins to this side of town, and one over here in these ruins as well. Oscar placed one in the woods on the opposite end of town, and then he placed one right here at the end of this row of buildings. This little kind of little stronghold there, and he placed one in the fortress, which is sort of guarding the center of the crossroads. So we're going to go ahead and begin the game, and we will let you know how turn 1 goes, so stay tuned. All right, and we are back after turn 1. A little bit of positioning this turn, not a whole lot of violence, but we will talk about what went on over here on this flank first. Oscar pulled up a in white scout car and a half-track, both loaded down with infantry. He ran them all the way from over here, so they weren't able to unload, but they're getting into position. Oscar, what do you have in those vehicles? You have SAS.
So I have my Singhalese Tirailleurs in the scout car, and then I've got my Free French SAS
in the
and their chaplain in the half track.
And their chaplain, and they will be able to the Tirailleurs will be able to run across these this rough ground because
Yep.
they're mountain troops, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then we have so Mark's Martyr pulled up here and took a shot with all of its guns at the scout car and missed. His infantry advanced up here. He's ready to kind of contest that. Positioned his mortar facing down the way here. He's got a machine gun covering the ruins over here, and he's also moved his officer up. And then over here on this side, he put one of his regular teams, yes, and then also rolled up with the Opel Blitz, and his veterans ran out of that. So they are running towards the objective over there, and they're going to try to contest that. Over here in the woods, Mark positioned a sniper. He took a shot at some of these partisans that appeared, but he unfortunately missed. So that's pretty much the extent of the actual fighting that went on in this first turn. Meanwhile, Oscar moved up a regular squad to help kind of protect this flank, and then he buttressed that with 2 squads of partisans and an officer that are going to be kind of urging them on. He rolled his priest up here. Oh, and I forgot, the priest actually did take a shot as well. Fired down the lane at Mark's infantry squad, but unfortunately missed. And then he brought a partisan squad over here to kind of look down the help contest this objective that is in these woods, and that will also be supported by this regular squad of American supplied French infantry. So not a lot of violence, but some positioning, and so we're going to go ahead and play turn 2, and I think things are going to heat up here. We'll let you know what happens, so stay tuned. All right, we are back after turn 2. As you can see, some things have taken shape here on the battlefield. I'm going to go ahead and, as I did in turn 1, start here on this flank. So Oscar, the French have just really seized this area. They've seized this flank. The Trilliards and the SAS and the chaplain all hopped out of their respective vehicles and moved to secure these ruins. They took shots at these Germans who were at the time positioned right here. Managed to get a pin, and then they also took shots with the half-track and the scout car at the Martyr, who was actually positioned right here and managed to put pins on it, and then also managed to catch it on fire with a heavy machine gun and cause it to fail its orders test, and when it tried to activate, and it ended up having to reverse. So pretty serious carnage over here on the left side. There's a squad over here that the priest had fired at earlier in the first turn. As you recall, they were positioned here. The priest opened fire again and took out everyone but 2 men: the the light machine gunner and the submachine gun. So they have retreated into that building where they took shots on the SAS, and they managed to get a hit, or did they? I don't believe they actually got a hit. No. Meanwhile, the other squad retreated into these woods, and they took shots as well, but also did not manage to hit anybody. Meanwhile, the mortar, Mark's mortar took a shot at the priest down the way there, but only managed to, or actually didn't manage to hit it, but they're ranged in now, so next time it'll be a 5 if the priest doesn't move. Machine gun team had a little more success. They fired down the field to the fortress at some of these partisans, managed to pin them and remove a casualty. This squad had fired earlier at the partisans, but also but didn't manage to hit anybody. But they're holding down this objective pretty nicely over here. Truck reversed to just sort of save itself. Meanwhile, the squad advanced, took shots down the field at the regulars in the woods, managed to get a pin. So that, all in all, that's what the Germans did. I'm going to swing around here to the French side. Like I said earlier, Oscar secured this flank. He moved up his regulars to help reinforce. He is making this into a partisan fortress. This is where the one of the objectives is. Yeah, the house of partisans. But they are moving up with their officer to try and secure this objective. The priest, like I said earlier, fired on that squad, managed to get them down to 2 men. This squad stayed where they were. They took shots at Mark's sniper, but they only managed to cause a pin. The sniper fired on this squad in turn, but didn't hit anyone. But I think it caused a pin earlier, but it didn't manage to kill anybody. And then this squad as well fired on the sniper, but also did manage to kill anyone. So things are starting to shape up a little bit. I think that this battle over here on the flank is becoming one of the decisive battles of the game. So we're going to go ahead and play turn 3, and we'll let you know how it goes. So stay tuned. All right, welcome back. We just finished up turn 3. The French are further consolidating their hold over here on this flank. We'll start with the vehicles. Both the half-track and the scout car fired their machine guns at the mortar and put some more pins on it. The mortar also took fire from the priest that moved out of its cover and fired its howitzer and managed to hit the front armor but didn't penetrate. But it caused 2 extra pins, so now the mortar is up to 5 pins, so it's having some trouble. Meanwhile, this squad in the woods took fire from the AARs in the house. They ended up going down, so I don't think they took any casualties. They just took some pins. Meanwhile, this squad that's down to 2 men were able to shake their pins and open up fire on the SAS here and managed to kill 1 and pin them, so that was good. The German officer moved over here to give support to the mortar. It did manage to get some support to the mortar before it was hit earlier. Mortar fired at the priest, but needed a 7 to get it done, and didn't manage to hit it at all. Meanwhile, the mortar also fired at the priest, but missed, and that's what caused the priest to need to move out of the cover because it was getting ranged in on. Meanwhile, this squad over here on this one objective looked down the road and noticed that there was a squad down there in very little cover. Opened up fire on them, killed 1 man, put a pin. Medium machine gun team, still picking on the partisans over here, fired at them, but took fire back from the partisans this time and got shot down to, I believe, 1 man or just pinned? Just pinned. Just pinned. The mortar took fire from the priest. Was it from the machine gun on the priest? Machine gun, yeah. And managed to get it down.
These
to
guys
1 man.
fired into there.
Oh, and also the SAS also fired on it. So it's pinned and down to 1 man. So the Germans are taking some pretty serious casualties over here on this flank. Over here, however, these soldiers advanced up, fired at this squad, didn't manage to hit anybody, but this squad tried to return the favor, but couldn't pass its orders test, and ended up just going down. Or was that actually, no, they did pass orders test this time.
No, they
right?
failed.
They failed, that's right.
Tried to shoot at the sniper.
Right. Sniper took fire from the partisans as well, but partisans didn't manage to kill anybody, so they just pinned them, and the sniper himself was unable to pass his orders test. So
Go partisans!
Yeah. Right now the partisans are doing their part for their fellow Frenchmen. Meanwhile, over here, partisans are consolidating their hold on this objective. As I said earlier, they took shots. Officer team is still spurring them on. Chaplain tried to take a pin off of the AARs, or was it the SAS?
The SAS.
The SAS, but
because they're Muslim.
Right, right. That wouldn't work out very well, would it? But he didn't manage to get it done. So he, for whatever reason, he could not convince them to lose a pin. So that's how it's shaking out right now. We're going to go ahead and play this next turn 4, and we'll let you know how it goes. Right now, the French hold 1, 2, 3 objectives, 4 objectives. Okay, and then the French hold more or less this objective right here and this objective right here. They hold 2. So, I'm sorry, the Germans. So we got a big job ahead for the Germans if they want to be able to seize these other 2 objectives. from the French. So we're going to go and play turn 4, and we'll let you know how it goes. Stay tuned. All right, folks, we're back after turn 4. More carnage over here on this flank. The French have pretty much consolidated this position. SAS took shots and fired into the small man team in this building and ended up killing them off. The Trilliars fired at the squad in the woods, forcing them to go down and putting more pins on them. So it doesn't look good for them. Meanwhile, the vehicles swung around. Fired their machine guns at both the mortar, which managed to put a pin on them but not kill anyone. Or actually, no, they just missed, right?
Yeah.
They just missed completely. And fired at the martyr and managed to not hit anybody there either. Martyr passed a morale test, he passed a morale test and he moved over here to get out of the way of the priest that he can see down the road there. The mortar tried to fire at the priest, but failed his orders test and foobarred, and ended up having to run all the way over here. So I think it's safe to say that this flank over here has pretty well collapsed. The Germans over here on this objective fired once again down the way. Did they hit anybody or did they miss?
I think a pin.
Yeah, it managed to put a pin on that regular squad there. Medium machine gun team was positioned here and ended up going into this building. And the officer ended up pulling back here to offer his morale bonus to some men that might need it. Meanwhile, over here on the right flank, Germans fared a little bit better. The squad advanced up here, put pins on the partisans. The sniper managed to pass his orders test and put another pin on this squad. This squad still has not passed an orders test. They actually ended up failing their orders test or going down. So we'll swing around here to the French side. Oscar has moved up his partisans. He took shots at this squad over here, as well as I think both of them actually ended up firing.
He killed an LMG.
They did manage to kill an LMG, but not much else. Not a lot of definitive fire. The priest fired at this squad right here, but missed. They fired their HMG at that squad as well. Missed as well. Meanwhile, over here, partisans tried to. What did they try to do? They tried to fire at the sniper. Didn't manage to get any hits there. And this squad, as we said earlier, did not pass the orders test. So they keep going down, but they're sitting on an objective. Partisans are also within pretty close range of this objective. So it's looking like a pretty solid French effort over here on these flanks. The Germans will have to do something really drastic to pull it out in this next turn. So we're going to go ahead and play turn 5. We'll let you know what's going on after that. So stay tuned. Okay, we're back after turn 5. I'm going to start right here. If you'll recall, there was a squad that was holding this objective. They were fired upon by this priest and took them down to 2 men, and they were unable to pass their orders test to hold it together. So those that survived fled the field. So that position is now no longer in German hands. Before they were annihilated, they did fire down range at the men in this squad. Didn't manage to hit anybody. Meanwhile, over here, let's see. So this guy right here, the scout car, fired at the martyr and ended up putting another pin on it. Martyr could not pass its orders test. Foobarred again, but just went down this time. Meanwhile, this half-track right here fired into the woods and managed to cause some casualties and put some more pins. This squad also received some fire from the Trilliars in this house, so they're under pretty heavy fire right now. Meanwhile, the SAS squad advanced to occupy these ruins so that they could occupy that objective that the other squad occupied earlier. Meanwhile, over here, this squad ended up failing an orders test and going down, so they were not able to be the aggressor squad, as Oscar taught me that new term just now. Meanwhile, this half-track took some fire from the mortar, the medium mortar, and ended up being taken out completely. So one vehicle finally down for the French. Meanwhile, we had a partisan squad advance out of the ruins. They're starting to move up towards that position. Before doing that, they took fire from machine gun in the building here that didn't manage to kill anyone. And this squad right here ended up going down, or no, they ended up firing at the machine gun, putting a pin on it, not killing anyone, and their officer team ended up going down. Moving around here to the left flank, Oscar's left flank, the partisans took fire from these men. They ended up going down, so didn't lose anybody. This squad ended up rallying and losing all but one pin. Sniper also fired at them, managed to kill their officer, so they're now down a permanent pin marker because they don't have an NCO. So the French are starting to push up towards these other objectives that they want to take to control all the objectives. That being this one. Actually, this is the only uncontested objective right now. I guess it is contested by the machine gun in the building, so they'll have to take him out in order to fully take it. But meanwhile, they hold all the other objectives. So we have one more turn in the game. We're going to go ahead and play it, and we'll let you know how the battle turned out after this. So stay tuned. All right, guys, we're back after the final turn, turn 6. I think what we're looking at here is a very clear French victory. We have a French army. We have a French army that has managed to pretty much secure the terrain from the get-go. I think what Oscar did a really good job of was moving the half tracks up here and securing these ruins very early in the game. So anyway, we'll go over what happened in this turn. The Trilliars fired into the German squad here and finally got them withered down to one man, the NCO, but he passed his orders test, so he's sticking around. Probably going to be captured and taken prisoner.
Hell no.
We take no prisoners.
Meanwhile, the scout car took shots at the martyr, but only managed to cause pins. But it took a direct hit from this mortar. Late game hit, putting another pin on it and immobilizing it, so it's actually stuck there for the rest of the game. The SAS men moved out and occupied this objective, and with some fantastic rolling and shooting, they fired into this building and killed the machine gun team that was in there with I think it was like 2 6s and a 5 or something like that. It was pretty phenomenal rolling. The priest took shots at the martyr but missed it. When it moved up early into the street, it actually sprung the ambush of the machine gun, which pinned it and made it unable to hit the martyr. Meanwhile, the partisans moved across the street to contest the objective. The German officer is still here, though, still in the smoldering ruins of where that earlier squad was. But so that objective is going to be contested. But meanwhile, this German squad pulled back from its perch here to take shots down the street at the partisans, but it only managed to put a pin on them, didn't manage to kill anybody. Meanwhile, the sniper took shots at partisans across the field, put another pin on them, killed the NCO. This squad ended up just going down or taking shots.
No, they did an ambush shot at the.
At this squad, but did manage to kill anyone. Yeah, but did manage to put a pin on them. It looks like so. Yeah, there was that. Moving over here, this squad never could get it together. Never could. Even with the chaplain urging them on, they never could pass their orders test. So they never could be that aggressor unit and push forward to eliminate this squad over here in the woods. Meanwhile, this squad just ended up sitting on this objective. Squad of partisans. They had their officer with them, They never really had to do much. And this squad ended up just going down and failing its orders test pretty much the entire game. But they were close enough to an objective, and this squad was on top of an objective. So if you're going to go down, that's a pretty good place to go down. So I hope you enjoyed watching this battle between the French and the Germans. Please like and subscribe. Please join us on Facebook, Texas Bolt Action. Reach out to us in the Bolt Action Facebook group or the Bolt Action International Facebook group. Let us know what kind of battles you like to see. We're working hard on getting more terrain, more armies, trying to include more people that have more diverse armies, so that we can get some pretty good battle reports for you guys. So in the meantime, have a great day, and thanks for watching.